You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Let's be honest. Your greatest battle isn't out there. It's not your boss, not your ex, not society. It's the voice in your head that says, sleep in, maybe tomorrow, you're not good enough. That voice is the weaker version of you. The one that flinches, that doubts, that breaks under pressure. But here's the truth. That version, it's not the real you. It's the noise, the residue, the shell, and it's time to burn it down. Because deep inside, there's another voice, one that's quiet but unshakable, one that doesn't make excuses, one that doesn't ask for permission, one that rises. This isn't motivational fluff. It's war, a war between who you've been and who you're called to become. And the Stoics, they didn't flinch from that fight. They embraced it every single day. So, I'm not here to hype you up. I'm here to call you out and call you forward, to remind you that power isn't something you wait for. It's something you take back, starting now. Ready? Let's begin. Break free from excuses. Excuses feel safe, don't they? They wrap around you like a warm blanket on a cold morning, soft, familiar, and incredibly dangerous. They whisper, you've had a long day, you'll start tomorrow, you're not ready. And at first, they sound reasonable, even comforting. But make no mistake, every excuse is a tiny betrayal, not of the world, of yourself. Each one tightens the chains. Each one pulls you deeper into a life you don't want to live. The Stoics had no patience for this poison. Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. And yet what do? We give our power away to hesitation, to comfort, to delay. Excuses are lies. Lies you whisper to yourself, just convincing enough to keep you stagnant, just soft enough to lull you back to sleep, even while your soul is screaming to wake up. The moment you say, I don't feel like it, is the very moment you must act. Not tomorrow. Not when the timing feels perfect. Now. Because here's the secret, the more you delay, the louder the excuses get. And the longer you listen, the more they start to sound like truth. But they're not truth, they're chains. Chains that bind your potential, chains that drag you back into comfort and mediocrity. You break those chains with action. That's it. You don't negotiate with the weak self. You don't debate it. You don't ask for its opinion. You move. You do the thing, even when you don't feel ready. Especially when you don't feel ready. Get up with the first alarm, take the cold shower, do the push-ups, read the page, write the paragraph. These aren't small things, they're declarations. Proof that the stronger version of you is in control now. Because excuses don't die on their own. You kill them with consistency, with discipline, with fire in your eyes that says, not today, not ever again. From now on, every time an excuse shows up, treat it like an enemy breaching your gates. And you're the warrior. You don't let it in. You meet it with action, and you crush it. Discipline is your superpower. Let's be real, motivation is fickle. One day it's fire in your veins. The next, it's gone without a trace. You feel pumped on Monday. By Wednesday, you're negotiating with your alarm clock. That's the problem with relying on motivation. It's not loyal, it's not steady, it shows up when things are easy and disappears the moment things get uncomfortable. But discipline is different. It doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't need to be in the mood. It shows up rain or shine, tired or inspired. It's the quiet force behind greatness. The Stoics understood this. They didn't wait for some spark to move them. They moved because it was right, because it was necessary, because their mission demanded it. Seneca said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." But preparation, that's discipline. That's showing up when no one's watching, when it's not fun, when it's not flashy. Here's the shift. Stop asking, "Do I feel like it?" Start declaring, "This is who I am." You're not the kind of person who waits around for the perfect conditions. You create conditions. You build a rhythm, a system, a code. Set your non-negotiables. Maybe it's waking up at the same time every day. Maybe it's training your body even when it aches. Maybe it's reading something that sharpens your mind no matter how busy you are. Discipline turns intentions into identity. Every time you act without waiting for motivation, you prove to yourself that you're in charge, not your emotions, not your mood, not your circumstances. And yeah, it's hard, but that's the point. Growth doesn't come wrapped in comfort. It's forged in resistance and doing what must be done even when your whole body screams for ease. So build your rituals. Guard your habits. Don't wait until you feel like doing it. Just do it. Like a warrior sharpening his blade not for today's battle, but for the one he doesn't see coming. Because when that storm hits, and it will, you won't need motivation. You'll already be moving. Embrace the struggle. Let's cut through the noise. Comfort won't build you. Struggle will. Weak men spend their lives running from discomfort, dodging challenges, avoiding anything that feels hard. They chase ease and end up empty. But strong men, they do the opposite. They run toward the fire because they know what's waiting on the other side: strength, clarity, and the kind of confidence that only comes from surviving what others avoid. You see, hardship isn't a punishment. It's the forge. It's the fire that burns away what's soft, fragile, and fake until all that's left is real, raw, and unbreakable. So when life hits you, and it will, don't fall into the trap of asking, "Why me?" Ask instead, "What is this here to teach me? What part of me needs to die so something stronger can be born?" Every struggle is an invitation to rise. Every setback is a test. Every ounce of pain you endure is a lesson in power your power. Pain is not your enemy. It's your personal trainer. It shows you where you're weak and then gives you the tools to get stronger, but only if you stay in the ring. The Stoics didn't pray for easier lives. They trained for harder ones. They didn't see pain as something to avoid. They saw it as a tool, a sharpening stone for the soul. Because if you avoid struggle, you stay soft, you stay fragile, you stay stuck. But if you embrace it, if you lean into the hard, the messy, the painful, you become something few people ever do. Unstoppable. That's the difference. Not talent, not luck, not intelligence, but the ability to suffer well, to suffer on purpose. The next time something uncomfortable shows up, don't shrink. Step forward, look it in the eye and say, "I've been waiting for you." Because when you stop running from hardship, you realize it was never here to break you. It was here to build you. Master your emotions. Own your life. Let's be honest, your emotions can be loud. Anger flares up. Fear tightens your chest. Anxiety spirals you into a storm of what-ifs. But here's the truth. Most people never learn. Your emotions are not commands. They're just signals. They're like weather patterns inside your mind, real, yes, but not permanent, and certainly not in control, unless you hand them the keys. The weak. They do just that. They react, they lash out, they shut down, then they regret and repeat. They become prisoners of impulse, dragged through life by every fleeting mood, every emotional storm. That's not freedom, that's slavery. But the Stoic, he's different. He feels everything, he's not numb. But he doesn't obey every emotion that rises. He pauses, he breathes, he steps back and asks, is this emotion serving me or sabotaging me? That's mastery. It doesn't mean you suppress your emotions. It means you govern them. It means when anger shows up, you don't explode, you examine. When fear creeps in, you don't flee, you challenge it. When anxiety whispers doubt, you don't listen, you lead. This isn't easy, but it's powerful, because once you learn to control your inner world, the outer world can't shake you. You become grounded, still, a mountain, calm in the storm. Your mind becomes a fortress impenetrable, rooted, unshakable, and inside that fortress, freedom. Because when you rule your emotions, you rule your life. So the next time a storm hits, don't panic. Step into it. You're not the storm. You're the mountain that can't move. Build self-respect with every action. Here's the truth. Real self-respect doesn't come from compliments. It doesn't come from likes, applause, or validation from strangers. It comes from you, from the way you live when no one's watching, from the standards you set and refuse to lower. Weak men, they crave recognition. They want to be seen, to be praised, to be told they're enough. But the strong, they're different. They don't chase validation. They earn self-respect through discipline. Because when you consistently do what you say you'll do, when you show up even when it's hard, when you push through even when no one's clapping, you start to trust yourself. You start to respect yourself. You stop needing the world to affirm your worth because your actions already prove it. That's the shift. The more disciplined you become, the less approval you need. You stop asking, do they see me? And start asking, am I proud of the man I see in the mirror? Let your integrity be your mirror. Let your habits speak louder than your words. Let your discipline write your story. Because respect isn't something you demand. It's something you embody. You don't need to convince anyone of your worth. You just live in a way that makes it undeniable. So set the rules. Hold the line. Be the man who follows through even when it's inconvenient, even when it hurts, even when no one's watching. That's strength. That's freedom. That's self-respect built from the inside out. When your life is rooted in discipline, there's no need to shout. Your presence, your poise, your consistency, they say everything. Endure, evolve, empower. Endurance isn't just about surviving. It's not white-knuckling your way through life, hoping things get easier. No, real endurance is something deeper. It's the quiet power to stand tall in the middle of the storm, to suffer with dignity, to struggle with purpose. Hardship isn't the enemy, it's the test. It's the rite of passage life uses to separate those who wish from those who become. So, when the path gets heavy, and it will, don't ask, how do I escape this? Ask instead, what strength is this trying to reveal in me? Because every trial is shaping you. Every obstacle is forging something in you that comfort never could. The man you're meant to be, the version of you that is unshakable, unbreakable, undeniable, he is born in the furnace of pain, not outside of it, in it. Endurance means showing up even when everything in you says quit. It means embracing the silence that comes with struggle, not begging to be rescued, but learning to be still and listen. There's wisdom in the pain, but only if you stay long enough to hear it and know this isn't glamorous. There's no applause, no cheering crowd, just you and the fire. But that's where the real change happens. Every time you choose to keep going when quitting would have been easier, you add another layer to your armor, another brick to the foundation of your soul. So don't run from the hard seasons. Don't resist the fire. Lean into it. Let it burn away your weakness. Let it reveal what you're really made of. Because endurance isn't about gritting your teeth until it's over. It's about rising in the middle of it and becoming something stronger than the storm. The strength in solitude. Solitude isn't loneliness. It's not emptiness. It's not isolation for the sake of escape. Solitude is power. It's where noise dies and truth speaks. It's where you stop performing and start becoming. But most people run from it. They fill their days with distractions, music, screens, chatter, anything to avoid being alone with their thoughts. Why? Because silence is revealing. It shows you who you really are when no one's watching, when there's nothing to prove, nothing to post, no one to impress. And for the weak, that's terrifying. But for the strong, for the Stoic, solitude is sacred. It's the forge of the mind. It's where clarity is born, where the real work begins not on the outside, but deep within. In solitude, you sit with your weaknesses. You confront the truth you've been avoiding, and slowly you start to strip away the noise, the lies, the masks. You rebuild from the ground up, not as someone the world expects, but as someone you respect. The Stoics didn't fear solitude, they welcomed it, because they knew a man who can be alone and be at peace is a man who cannot be broken. So make time for silence, not just a break from the world, but a return to yourself. Go for a walk without your phone. Sit quietly in the morning and just breathe. Ask yourself hard questions. And don't rush the answers. In solitude, you don't lose yourself, you find yourself. And the more comfortable you become with your own presence, the less approval you'll need, the less chaos you'll tolerate, the more grounded you'll be. Solitude isn't a void, it's a mirror, a training ground, a sanctuary for the soul, and in that space, you don't just hear the truth, you become it. Tame the mental chaos. Your mind left unchecked can become your greatest enemy. It will drag you through past mistakes, loop your fears on repeat, compare you to everyone else, drown you in doubt, confusion, and noise. An undisciplined mind is a tyrant. It doesn't serve you, it rules you. And if you don't take control, it will. But here's the truth. You're not your thoughts. You're the one who chooses which thoughts get to stay. When you learn that really learn it, everything changes. The Stoics understood this. They didn't try to control the world, they mastered their response to it. Because that's where true power lives, not in what happens, but in how you think about what happens. So sharpen your mind like a warrior sharpens his sword, with care, with precision, with purpose. Start noticing your thoughts. Catch them before they spiral. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me or harming me? If it's fear, examine it. If it's doubt, challenge it. If it's noise, cut it off. Your thoughts are tools. Not all of them are worthy. Some need to be discarded. Because here's the thing. Your mind is a battlefield, and every moment you let negative, destructive thinking run wild, you're giving ground to the weaker self. But every time you choose calm over chaos, discipline over distraction, clarity over confusion, you reclaim that ground. And eventually, you build something unshakable inside a fortress of focus, reason, and purpose. Your mind can be your most loyal ally or your worst enemy. The choice, it's yours. Always has been. Think like a warrior. A warrior does not flinch. He doesn't run when things get hard. He doesn't fold at the first sign of resistance. He stands. Why? Because he's not waiting for the perfect moment. He creates it. He doesn't need the right conditions, the ideal plan, or the stars to align. He moves forward because that's what warriors do. To think like a warrior is to remove the option of retreat, to cut off the escape route, to decide, no matter what, I keep going. That mindset changes everything, because setbacks, they're not signs to quit, they're feedback, painful, humbling, but honest. Every failure is a lesson. Every loss is a rep. Every struggle, a sharpening stone. The warrior doesn't fear the fight. He lives for it. He knows comfort is a trap. That ease weakens the will. So he doesn't pray for lighter burdens, he prays for broader shoulders. This path, it's not for everyone. It demands presence. It demands grit. It demands you stare your doubts in the face and say, "Not today." The warrior doesn't complain about how hard it is. He chooses it because he knows what's on the other side: growth, strength, freedom. He's not reckless. He's relentless. And that's the difference. While others hesitate, he strikes. While others retreat, he advances. While others look for the exit, he plants his feet. He doesn't just want to win battles, he wants to win himself. Because the real war, it's not out there. It's not against the world. It's against the voice that says you're not enough. It's against the part of you that wants to quit. It's against the lie that says you can't take one more step. And when that voice shows up, the warrior doesn't argue. He fights. Live a legacy of strength. At the end of your life, what will remain? Not your titles, not your followers, not the things you collected, posted, or bragged about. Your legacy is the life you lived, the strength you showed, the standard you upheld when no one else would. The weak man dies with a scroll of excuses, pages filled with could've, should've, almost. But the strong, he leaves behind something different. A legacy etched not in comfort, but in discipline. Not in noise, but in presence. Not in talk, but in action. Seneca said, "Life is long if you know how to use it," but most don't. They waste it. Scrolling, comparing, chasing things that don't matter. They live like they have forever, until suddenly they don't. The Stoic lives differently. He lives on purpose. Every day a decision, every action a brick in the fortress of his character. He doesn't need the spotlight. He doesn't chase applause. He simply walks the path, quiet, steady, undeniable. And when his time comes, he leaves nothing on the table, no wasted years, no buried dreams. He doesn't meet death with fear, he meets it with pride, because he knows I lived fully, I stood firm, I became what I was meant to be. His legacy is not fame, it's not fortune, it's how he made people feel in his presence, how he stayed true when it was hard, how he carried himself when no one was watching. That's the legacy that matters. And you don't build it all at once. You build it day by day, with discipline, with sacrifice, with quiet excellence. So ask yourself, are you building something that will echo long after you're gone? Or are you just filling time, live in a way that commands respect, whether anyone sees it or not? Because the man who walks in purpose never really dies. His life speaks, his strength remains. You weren't born to shrink. You weren't meant to obey fear, bow to excuses, or be led by fleeting emotions. You were born to rise, to fight for your potential, to forge a version of yourself that stands unshaken, no matter what life throws your way. This journey is not for the faint-hearted. It's for those who are tired of living small, for those ready to kill the weak version of themselves, not someday, but now, with every disciplined choice, every uncomfortable step, every moment you say no to comfort and yes to your calling, you build the man you were meant to become. So don't wait, not for motivation, not for the perfect time, not for anyone's permission. You don't need more time. You need to decide. The strong version of you is already inside waiting. The time is now. If this message resonated with you, if it stirred something within you, don't let it stop here. Like the video, if it lit a fire inside you, share it with someone you care about, someone who needs to hear it too. And if you're walking the Stoic path with us, subscribe for more wisdom, more clarity, and more strength for the journey ahead. This is more than a video. It's a movement.